Johnston was also in the same area as McCoist at that moment. So an easy task there for Bobby Mims in the Aberdeen goal. Headed away there by Brown. There's Johnston. Irvin nods it away. There's Brown quickly in on Mason. McKimmie switching it across to Connor. Good running by Hillhouse, followed by Goff. Inside is Nicholas. Now Bet. Sliding it in there, looking for Mason. Hooked away by Walters. That'll be a throw to Aberdeen. But Aberdeen always look as though they might profit from any moves on the left, with Bet at the heart of it all, and Hillhouse and Nicholas willing to link with him. Nicholas opening it out. Here's Grant. Now Connor. Nicholas well tackled by by Butcher rather. Spackman tidies up with the pass back. It's some signs that Aberdeen appear to be determined to play the ball to the feet of Nicholas and Hillhouse as much as they can. Walters heading that on for the Aberdeen throw. McKimmie overshooting Nicholas. Off to Butcher, and the attentions of Mason ensure that ball is played back to Woods. Leash with the header. This is Bet. That's one for Hillhouse to chase, using his pace there against Monroe. And Monroe reacted very well indeed for Rangers. He has done extremely well at right back since crossing over after Gary Stevens went off.
It was a delightful ball in the first place by Bet, and Monroe did well hooking his left foot round them there, because Hillhouse looked to me just to have an edge in pace.
Came off the head of McLeish. He's up again. This time it's Spackman. Bobby Mims playing his 8th match. He's only had one shutout so far for Aberdeen. Only once though on the losing side. That was against Hibs. 3-2 defeated Easter Road. Free kick goes to Rangers. As Walters goes down. So here's John Brown looking for movement from McCoist and Johnston. They don't disappoint him either, but that's won by Irvin. Spackman trying to work a little move there with McCoist. Here's John Brown. Well tackled by Mason. Recovery made by Brown. And the recovery tackle adjudged illegal by referee Syme. It's a free kick to Aberdeen. A bit of frustration there for Brown. Leash playing it wide. Here's Hillhouse with Connor behind him. Nicholas coming off Butcher. Ball still in play. Bet and Hillhouse making progress in the left. In comes Butcher. Connor robbed neatly by McCoist. In goes McLeish. Goff lofts it forward again. McKimmie wins the high ball. There's Simpson. Lovely touch from Neil Simpson, getting a roar of approval from the Aberdeen fans. Some difficulty of the players watching the ball coming out of the sun from that angle from Woods' kickouts.
And that will only get worse, Jock, as this half moves on. I was thinking that, you know, that possibly later in the game, because it doesn't look to me as if the clouds are going to come over, that any ball played into the penalty area is going to be a problem ball for Bobby Mims.
There's Brown's throw. McKimmie wins it. Butcher challenged well there by Mason, but Goff is at the back for Rangers. Still neither side able to develop any passing movements from the middle of the field. The only prospect of real creative play appears to be when the ball goes in the flanks like this with Jim Bett for Aberdeen. Tackled well by Monroe. Simpson battling hard with Stephen. Connor drags the ball away, but here's McCoist in the break. Well tackled by Irvin. Good play that by the Aberdeen defender, Brian Irvin. It's Aberdeen putting passes together again, coming from defence. And if he waving play on, he's given two advantages, I reckon, so far, as Aberdeen sweep forward. There's Grant. That's played easily by Butcher. Charlie Nicholas is still on the ground inside the centre circle. Well, I reckon it was good refereeing by David Syme. Could easily have stopped the match twice, but with Aberdeen in possession, allowed it to flow.
It'll be interesting to see if he says anything to Goff once the game does stop.
And Maurice Johnston has gone down all on his own. I wonder if he has gone over an ankle or stumbled awkwardly, but the referee now allowing attention for Johnston and for Charlie Nicholas, who's never recovered from that earlier tackle from Richard Goff. So, more work for the physios. They've been involved far too much for the supporters' liking. Here was Aberdeen, though, building up this move. Connor inside. Gets the return pass there from Neil Simpson. Good bit of play from defence from Aberdeen. This was Neil Simpson. Caught late by Dodds. That could have been a foul. And that certainly was a foul by Goff and Nicholas. But with Grant in possession, the referee allowed the play to continue. So that's how Charlie Nicholas came by his injury. Maurice Johnston is back on his feet, looking a little bit groggy. Not at all clear how he came by that injury. There appeared to be no Aberdeen player near him when he fell over. Played by Walters for Johnston. He's tackled well by McLeish. Here's Mason. Nicholas. Simpson well challenged by Butcher. Back with Walters. Another good tackle by McLeish. Breaks from Spackman to Bett.
You have to say, Jock, some excellent tackling. It's not often you see that in a football game, where players go in for the ball 100% and get a good tackle in.
Two Aberdeen central defenders in particular coping extremely well, McLeish and Irvin. Here's Irvin again. A hopeful ball forward. Hans Hillhouse having a long-range word with Irvin, indicating where he would have preferred the pass. McKimmie to Irvin. There's Spackman. Well, couldn't make up his mind, I reckon, whether to look for Johnston or McCoist. Found neither in the end. And here's Connor. Tackle came from McCoist. Well, Connor leaving the throw. I'm not quite sure why. He's going to protest to referee's sign, but McCoist did appear to throw the ball to the correct spot. So Simpson switching the play to the right through Irvin.
I tell you what, the Rangers front two, McCoist and Johnson, are working hard, aren't they? I mean, that's both sides of the field there. McCoist this side, Johnson the other side, and making sure that the Aberdeen boys don't get a free kick at the ball.
There's Mark Walters. Played forward by Irvin. Butcher forced to turn. And that was because Charlie Nicholas cut off the route to Woods. It's a clumsy touch there by Butcher, conceding the throw. Aberdeen getting some vocal support now. There's Nicholas. Stopped by Brown. There appeared to be a hand used there. The referee's given a free kick to Rangers. Well, the tackle on John Brown. Charlie Nicholas clearly wants to know what the free kick was given for. Chris Wood still required to make a save of note in the match. Here's Grant. It's cut off by Stephen. Here's Johnston. Now McCoist. What a great tackle again from Alex McLeish.
Super tackle by Alex McLeish, because McCoist was clean through if he got past Big Alec there. Here it comes up. Lovely.
Well, he only had one chance to stop McCoist, and he took it. Here's Goff. Now Stephen. Using Dodds inside. They're so crowded in that area, very difficult indeed for any of these players, in the middle of the field in particular, to look up and find a target for a pass. McCoy's forcing that long pass back from Connor. Hillhouse troubling Butcher in the air. Here's Spackman. Walters trying to get his bearings. McLeish heading that against McCoist. Johnston waits in the middle. Linking there with McCoist. And once again, Alec McLeish to the rescue of Aberdeen. The referee watching that very closely, need to make sure there was no infringement. And McLeish certainly showing the kind of defensive skills which have earned him 67 Scotland caps.
Yeah, I mean that following on the one he made before was a superb tackle again, wasn't it? Because the front two for Rangers are looking very sharp, playing nice little 1-2s with each other, and there Big Alec, reading the script, made the tackle.
And referee Syme upsetting the Aberdeen fans, giving a free kick against Hans Hillhouse for boring into Stuart Monroe as that ball was in the air. We're booing you here from the Aberdeen supporters. Kimmy's header. Here's Brian Grant. Nicholas making space for himself well, but the final pass, a disappointment. Seemed to be trying to do that in too much of a hurry, having made the space for himself. Coyce helps it on. There's Johnston. And Bet has no qualms about the long pass back, allowing Aberdeen to build again through Robert Connor at left back. There's Nicholas. Now Connor. Nicholas again. Well, complaining to his teammates there was nothing on ahead of him. Not happy about the lack of movement ahead. There's Bet. That's gone straight to Walters. Down goes Spackman, tackled by Grant. And Aberdeen have reorganised their midfield, pushing Jim Bet right into the middle with Simpson now on the left. Here's McCoyce battling hard with Irvin. Back to Brown. Bet playing it forward. 60 minutes on the clock. Still no scoring here, Pittodrie. And clearly a situation which Rangers will prefer. Aberdeen requiring both points if they're to cling to any remaining slim hopes of the championship. Dodds to Monroe. Monroe driving forward, but on his weaker foot he has to check back inside to his left. This is Spackman. Trevor Stephen pops up on the right. Good running again by Monroe. Hooking it back with his right foot, straight to McLeish. Good play by Stephen. Here's Spackman. Johnston. Now Dodds. Rangers probing patiently now, looking for an opening. Egan on his left foot. Headed away by Connor to Monroe. Here's Johnston. Now Trevor Stephen. Far post cross looking for McCoist. Controlling the ball well. It's back now with Spackman. Now McCoist again. The angle shot and a fine effort there from McCoist. Lots of patience about that build-up, and Ali McCoist almost pulled off the perfect finish.
Well, it's not before time that Rangers played a little bit of football and they almost got the reward for it. It was a lovely move. As you say, they were very patient. They were probing away. They were playing the ball into feet, which is very important. And if they get a service into the two front players, McCoist and Johnson are so dangerous. And that was a great effort by McCoist.
Grant forced into the pass back. So we're seeing some good defensive play and some good attacking play, but the middle of the field is the area where we're not seeing the kind of creative play you'd expect from two teams of this quality. There's Nicholas. This is Simpson. Playing it through for Hillhouse. Good anticipation shown there by Woods. He was off his line very smartly indeed, because Hillhouse did have an opening here. Good pass this from Simpson. Hillhouse would have made it, but for the attentions there of Woods. Dodds forcing it forward, but straight to Connor. Simpson. McLeish to Connor. Good play by McLeish again. There's Irvin with that. Clearance goes straight to Dodds.
When he had the player wide outside him there, he had McKimmie on his right-hand side. He should have knocked it straight out to him. There's McKimmie now.
Just as McLeish did to order. Here's Mason. Caught by Butcher. No complaint by Butcher about the free kick being awarded. He knows he was in there late. So, free kick to Aberdeen for this challenge on Paul Mason. He stepped back neatly there on Butcher and was taken down. And now a change being made by Aberdeen. It's a very aggressive one at that. Neil Simpson getting a warm round of applause as he departs. He's done enough after such a long layoff. 10 weeks he's been out. He goes off, and the replacement is the hero of the Skull Cup semi-final, Ian Cameron, the £300,000 signing from St Mirren, who also has had injury problems. Alex Smith on the internal telephone with the instructions. Bet flighting it in. There's the header. And it was Hillhouse battling for that. Hans Hillhouse coming very close indeed here, getting up very well to this ball, nodding it towards the target. It got a deflection wide of the post. So corner kick to Aberdeen. There's Jim Bett. Irvin and McLeish hanging back at the edge of the box to make a run. There's McLeish. Goff wins it from Irvin. Return by McKimmie. Cameron trying to become involved. Irvin's taking a blow at the side of the head. Ball turned back by Connor. And Ian Cameron has gone straight to a wide position on the left for Aberdeen. Hillhouse has gone to a more central position beside Charlie Nicholas. Mason on the right, Bett in the centre, and Grant on the left side of midfield now. There's Mason. Here's Brian Grant with a chance. Superb goalkeeping by Chris Woods. The save of the match, without any question at all, and a magnificent move this from Aberdeen. Brian Grant doing everything right, and the courage and the timing of Woods saves Rangers. Well, Aberdeen undoubtedly encouraged by that excellent move. Played in by Bett, headed away by Brown, straight back to Jim Bett. The outswinger this time. There goes McLeish. Once again it's Woods. Aberdeen have burst to life. pace here from Jim Bett. McLeish towering above everyone with that header, and Woods takes it cleanly.
Well, the big Rangers central defenders are knocking their heads to the crosses, because that's about three headers in a row we've seen the Aberdeen boys getting. So I think you've got to ask questions about them. But it's nice to see the game has come to life, and Aberdeen doing the pressing.
And Chris Woods showing the kind of form which has forced him into the England international squad again. Touched on by Johnston. There's McLeish. Here's Paul Mason. Dropped back a little to the wide position on the right side of midfield. Walter sprinting back to challenge. Mason goes down, but the foul goes Rangers' way, I think. Yes, Mason was the original offender on Walters.
Matt Walters actually did a terrific job for Rangers there, getting back and making that tackle, because Paul Mason had beaten the first offender and was clean through. But that's the job required now of players playing wide in midfield like that. You know, apart from doing their attacking job, they've got to go back, fill the holes, help the defenders. And Walters certainly did that there.
So at the midway point in the second half, there's still no scoring here at Pittodrie. But that is thanks to the save made a moment ago by Chris Woods from Brian Grant. Here's Connor. Back with McLeish. Spinning away from Cameron. He'll take some time to warm to his task, I reckon. Woods in no particular hurry to get this ball forward. Defeat the only really unacceptable result for Rangers this afternoon. Here's Brown. Headed away by Irvine. Here's Terry Butcher. The dummy from McCoy. There's Johnston. Been allowed to turn. Walters has gone to the right. Here's Grant. Now Cameron. Using Bett in the middle. Get himself away from Dodds to find McKimmie on the right. Good play from Aberdeen. Played in by Mason. Stephen back defending. There's Bett. Now Grant. Bett once again. Trying to play that wide for McKimmie. Irvine did well, stretching in there to beat Johnston. It's back with Bett. Connor shows himself on the near side, the left. Here's Brian Grant. Again, set up for Connor. Too high for Nicholas. And a tidy piece of play in defence from John Brown. Headed away there by Irvine. He took a blow in the face though from Johnston in the same moment. An accidental one, no question about that, but that looked to be a solo for Brian Irvine. The play continuing. Irvine's back on his feet unsteadily as Hillhouse breaks, trying to get the better of Monroe, and this time Aberdeen have the free kick. Hillhouse.
He's certainly got a bit of pace, John, hasn't he, Hillhouse? I mean, Monroe was going flat out there, and Hillhouse, who was a yard behind him at the start, certainly got past him. Monroe's complaining about the foul. But
Brian Irvine is there getting some treatment. He seemed to take Maurice Johnston's head in his face just as he won the ball in the air. As Johnson tried to reach it, there was a clash and some damage at the bridge of the nose, I think. Well, Davy Wiley, the Aberdeen physio, has been a very busy man this afternoon, as has Phil Boersma for Rangers. So let's see how Brian Irvine came by his injury, if we can. Well, it appeared to be an elbow that was flying there, which caught him. Certainly, I'm convinced no intent on the part of Johnston. He was trying to reach the ball. Irvine won it cleanly, but took that flying elbow in the face.
In fact, Mo's got a bit of a bruised elbow there.
So Irvine, who's played superbly for Aberdeen in defence, thinking about coming forward, but I think he'll stay back meantime while Jim Bett prepares to take this free kick. McLeish is in the box, marked by Butcher. Bett playing it in low, headed away by Spackman. And Woods allowed that to bounce towards him as Stuart McKimmie came racing in. The Rangers defenders taking no offence about the challenge made by McKimmie. And Woods had to accelerate at the last moment. He didn't realise just how quick McKimmie was. Irvine's header. Cameron, all he can do was keep the ball in. Nicholas wins it ahead of Goff. The referee says there was no foul.
There can't be a foul there, really, because Charlie came in from behind Goff and just went to the ball as Goff was going for the ball. Certainly never a foul.
Well, I have to say from this angle it looked to me a little bit differently, but that's the game of football, a matter of opinions. Well, let's see it again.
There you are, never a foul.
We'll still agree to differ on that. Brown's header, there's Mason winning it. Brown certainly went in recklessly. The referee ways play on with Aberdeen in possession. And you have to give the referee credit for wanting the game to flow as much as possible. It was stopped so frequently and inevitably in the first half. He's determined that it will carry on.